Welcome to the PSNORKIS podcast, a show with real topics discussed by real people with real opinions and tempered with a real sense of humour. Now here are your two PSNORKISers. Or is it PSNORKI? Screw it. Here are your hosts, Dr. Myke and The Madman.
Oh, a microphony.
And a phony at the mic.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Good evening and welcome back. It's time for another episode of the PSNORKIS podcast. I said good evening because I chose that randomly. It's actually like the middle of the afternoon, but who knows when you guys are listening to it. It's completely and totally up to you. So it's sort of, Damn it, the word didn't come to me. Words is hard. I hate when that happens. Anyway. Sitting next to me, of course, the usual people. Of course, my partner there, Doc. Hello, Doc.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing, bud?
I'm good. It's nighttime because you're a vampire.
Well, I do suck, I've been told.
Yeah. Well, that's another topic. We'll get on that later.
Completely and totally, actually, yes. And, of course, we got Petey. Petey's here.
Hello, PSNORKIS friends.
We got Miss Kitty.
Hello, hello, my darlings.
We got Rocket. Oh. Sorry, I thought I had that on. That was my
Apparently,
fault.
I'm not talking to anybody
No,
tonight.
that was my fault. My bad.
Welcome, Rocket.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And today we have somebody new. And she has her own nickname. Now, everybody thinks that we came up with these nicknames for each other for the show. And no, it's not. We've all had these nicknames going since, I think, before we even met. Petey, you had it since you were a girl.
Yes.
I had mine since the 80s when I used to DJ. Well, you've had yours since you've had your PhD, basically. So, Kitty's always been Kitty.
Yeah.
I had to find one.
Yours had, well, no, you have one, but you didn't want to use it. You had one that your family gave you many years ago.
That's private.
You didn't like to do it. She didn't want to use it.
I got to share
Anyway.
with the group. I wanted to know what that was.
Today we have another one, and she comes with her own actual nickname. We did not have to give it to. We had to give Rocket hers because she didn't want to use her actual one. But
Inherited one.
right. But we have somebody here who has her own, comes with it, and her name is Cake.
Cake.
Welcome, Kate. Welcome.
Thank you. Are you a baker?
No.
Oh, that's not what cake
It's all about her butt.
Oh, cake.
It has nothing to do with the butt.
Cake.
Cake.
And here's the funny thing: Rocket and Cake do tend to look a lot alike, don't they?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like we're
It's almost like you're related.
Yeah. Well, she won't share her actual nickname, but I will.
Okay.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Do tell.
My sweet little squirrel.
Yes.
You should have used that.
I
That's
like
a
it.
good name.
I wanted her to. I
What's
liked
wrong
it
with
too.
that? Secret squirrel. I like it.
Secret squirrel.
Because people think people who are squirrely are just a little off balance.
That's not.
you are a little
You
off.
are off balance.
Or they play with nuts a lot.
Or they, hide up in trees.
What was you saying? Well,
Now I know why
very
she didn't want to.
quickly.
Now I know why she didn't
Bite
want to
your
go
face
by
off.
a squirrel.
Now we're
Yeah.
back to Rocket.
No, the British used to put them on little chains and put them in family portraits.
What, nuts?
Nuts?
No,
Wait a minute.
squirrels.
Oh, that's where I was going.
That's where I
That's their offspring.
I was going to say, that's called marriage, where we put your nuts in chains.
Oh my God.
Oh, boy.
No, you wear them on little chains around your
Isn't that what you texted me the other day and I said they were in my pocketbook?
Yeah. I was like, yeah. It's not nice.
I think you should have stuck with squirrel, but
That's
it's
up to you. It's totally up to you.
We
That's
can always
both of
change
them-
it to squirrel if you
both
want.
of them are good.
It makes more
Fine.
sense.
No one's offended.
No.
Especially me. Not offended.
If your own daughter's not offended, what the hell?
Fine. She didn't even want to use that. She didn't even like that nickname. She was like, "Stop calling me that. Stop calling me that."
Oh,
And then-
really? Oh, no, that's why she
Now we-
doesn't.
now we
yeah,
have
she-
to
Oh,
have
now
it.
we
she
got
did
it.
not
She
want
has to
it.
do it.
And then one day she came home and she had a squirrel decal on the side of her car, and I was like, "Oh, we're embracing it now." Okay.
Because they wouldn't stop. So that's the only way to make them stop is to
Can't
embrace
beat
it.
it?
Yeah.
Join them.
She's in my phone. She's my emergency contact, obviously, but she's in my phone as squirrel, but then you have to set up your emergency contacts, and it just says mom because
that makes a little bit
I don't
more
want them to be like,
sense.
That's better than mine.
Someone call the squirrel.
My kids have me in their phone as birth giver.
That's how Sarah is in this phone.
That's one of the things that's wrong with the world today, as a matter of fact. But we'll get to that later on too.
I'm not incubator.
I'm in the phone as mom for.
Mom.
But she's also in the phone as mom, so she sends text messages
To herself? No way.
Why is she in the phone as herself?
God.
Okay, I'm just gonna.
That's funny.
Yep. So she said one day she kept sending messages, and so she sent one back and said, "Why are you sending me the same messages I'm sending you?" And then it dawned on her.
Should probably fix that.
Why did she have herself as mom? I mean, I know she's a mother, but why did she have herself as mom? Didn't she realize you have one contact named mom, you can't have a saying
I
contact
imagine
named mom?
somebody
Probably-
set the phone up for her.
Maybe
Probably
she's sending,
Ava.
She should probably have me in there as Mimi.
Maybe she's sending herself messages. I do that.
I don't
I
know.
send stuff to myself and lock it in there so I know it.
I myself was in there. It's Princess.
There
So
you
that way
go.
when I
Yeah,
say,
I'm
hey
in there,
Siri,
same
what's my
thing.
name? And she says, your
I'm in
name
there.
is but since we're friends, I get to call you Princess.
No, mine says I'm hot mama.
There you go. Oh, my.
Hey, listen, self-talk is important.
Right here. I agree.
That's how those tapes play.
Wow. Well, yeah.
you're
Well,
not Jones.
All right.
I was mother Jones for a really long time.
Wow.
A really long time.
Really?
My,
No way.
my cousin, which I had a really old iPhone, like a 3GS. And when I upgraded and I got whatever was next, the 5 after I upgraded, he made it call. He was like, "Hey Siri, from now on, call me Jones," because I was to be like, "Oh yeah, my phone calls me Princess." And then he was like, "Yeah, what does it call you?" And I was like, "Princess." He goes, "Yeah, ask it." So I was like, "Hey Siri, what's my name?" And she was like, "Your name is Mother Jones." And I was like, "Oh my God." And we're at like a family party, and here it is, just like this is my graduation party, and I was like, "How did you do that? How did you do that?" He's like, "I changed your name, Jones," and I'm still in his phone as
I love it. That's funny.
That sounds like something our daughter would do.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
yes, it does sound like something would do. Oh wow, wow.
it's a good nickname.
I like it.
interesting.
Good nickname.
I like.
Jones.
Mother Jones.
All right.
All right.
That's a lot of bleeps.
Quick. What for mother Jones? Everybody on the count of 3.
No,
1,
no,
2,
no,
3.
no.
Mother Jones.
That's good because that's probably in 1 second. I can bleep that all. If you staggered it, that'd be doing.
We could have shortened that to MFJ.
Yeah, there you go. MFJ.
I had a
like
friend
that.
in college. His name was
MFJ.
FJM. He looked like John Mayer, but he was chubby, so we called him Fat John Mayer. FJM. FJM. That was his name. But I don't even know his real name. That's the sad part. I have to. I would have to really think about it. I don't know because
you-
it'd be like FJM's here. We're like, oh.
Doc, you were worried about it being staggered because
I was not.
Yeah, you did. You said if we had staggered instead
Yeah.
of saying it at once, you'd have trouble. Well, because a lot of us sing, we can just do this. Joe.
Mother Jones.
Mother
Honestly, it's so
Wow, you're all just going to hear one tone of bleep.
Unless you subscribe.
Yeah.
Yes, if you subscribe,
Yeah.
you get all the fun stuff without the censoring.
We were in harmony.
I know.
It sounded good,
It
actually.
was good. It sounded really
And
nice.
I knew that would happen. That's why I did it, because
Yeah,
we
good.
do. We all sing.
Yeah. All I heard was bleep fest.
All right, quick vote. Who wants to go and just start calling her Squirrel?
I mean, let's ask her first. What would you?
She doesn't get a vote.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because she doesn't like it. She doesn't get a vote.
Come on, Mom. It's a good name.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, that's a good. I like my name.
Yeah, cake
she
is
likes
good. I
cake.
like
Why
cake.
can't
I
she
agree
like
with
Squirrel?
Rocket. I would go with Rocket.
Rocket.
Thank you.
All
Yeah, I
right,
do like
I'll go with
Rocket it is.
Rocket.
All right, stick with Rocket. Rocket
If
J
Rocket
Squirrel.
decides she wants to change it, then we can think about it ahead
Rocket
of time.
squirrel.
But we
She's on the
no,
Rocket Squirrel.
The secret
Rocket
squirrel,
Rocket
the one
J
with the
Squirrel.
PE
You know
list when
Rocky
he
and
talks.
Bullwinkle?
You know.
Yeah.
Remember
Yes.
Rocket? His name was Rocket J Squirrel.
Rocket J Squirrel.
Rocky and Bullwinkle. Yes.
They got MFJ
I
and
had no
Rocket
idea what
Squirrel.
you meant.
Yeah. Really?
RJS.
You're my age and you didn't know what I meant?
No.
They
Bloody
just put out a
hell.
Boris and Natasha movie,
Cake
and
is
it was
half
horrible.
our age and she knew what I meant.
I imagine that would be.
It was really bad.
I didn't have
I mean,
TV.
it sounded like somebody
I was
that
poor.
we know that wrote it.
What's that?
They have out this movie. I think it's on Amazon Prime. It's called Boris and Natasha. It was horrible.
Well, they're making trouble for moose and squirrel. Big trouble for moose
I
and
think I
squirrel.
liked the moose and squirrel part back in a cartoon, but
Oh, yeah.
this live action film sucked.
Yeah.
A lot of times when you try to do stuff like that, it doesn't.
They didn't bring the
work
funny.
out. You know what's not going to be funny?
Here it is.
Disney.
Oh, I thought it was somewhere else.
Well, they are going to redo Snow White, but it's not going to no longer be 7 dwarfs. They're going to be 7 magical creatures.
Because
No
that
way.
the dwarf
the
from
one dwarf
sorry,
from,
the
what-
little
yeah.
person from
Midget.
Elf threw a fit about it. What's his name? Peter
Peter something. Yeah, I could look it
Threw a
up, but I
fit
don't care enough
about
about him to
being
do it.
seven
After 50
dwarfs.
years, after 100
And
years.
and all the roles he got
yeah.
and
Now
has
all
made
of a
him
sudden-
rich and famous because of his size. And he's like, I was like, shut up, or I step
Hire
on
him.
your.
The one from Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Yes.
Oh, we're that dude.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Maybe he stuck on the fact that he played a character that was rich and wealthy, and maybe he should just shut up.
Thank you.
He's super rich.
I mean,
and wealthy now.
he's
Yeah.
pretty
So-
rich.
And that's great. But you used your attributes to get you further ahead in society.
And now you're
So
complaining
shut-
about those
Yeah,
actors.
exactly.
Right, exactly. You can't do that.
No.
Unless you're a
But
Democrat.
I guarantee they're going to change it.
I'm a
They'll
Democrat.
change
and I
it.
don't get to do that.
Yeah, they'll change
no, I
it.
Yeah,
said
because everything
Democrat.
now
That's
is being
different.
politically correct.
they're gonna
because
change
of
it.
the internet.
It's
Yeah,
going to be
screw that.
the 7 little people.
wait.
Oh,
No, the 7
magic-
magical
Oh, well,
creatures.
they weren't
And
magical.
Snow White's
And
going to
There's
be played by
nothing
a black
magical
girl.
about them.
By who? Batgirl?
A black girl.
Oh, but
Well, that wouldn't be a politically correct movie.
wait, who's
Who
playing
doesn't
that?
care? Who cares about that?
I'm just saying.
What's that?
Who?
I mean,
Snow White will be a black girl.
oh yeah, they're going to do that too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, that
Everything's
has to
being
be
redone. If it was done by what day at a time is being done now
Di-
with
Disney-
a black cast?
Disney. Well, that could be kind of fun
Well, I feel
because
like
you could
that's
still make
great.
that fun. That's
Look
okay.
at Cinderella did. They did the Cinderella adaptation with Brandy. I don't know what that one was called. Did you ever see that
Oh
one?
no!
Brandy?
But I remember now that you said, I remember it. Yeah.
Oh, I
They
did
did.
remember
I don't
that.
have
Yeah,
a
yeah,
problem
yeah.
with
No,
whoever
you can
plays
do
it
stuff
plays
like
it,
that.
but why are you taking
Leave
our
the
childhood
classics alone.
fairy
Leave
tales
them alone.
and turning them into
Yeah.
things that they're
and
not?
that's exactly what they're doing.
It wasn't written to offend this dude.
Yeah.
7.
If you want to be offended, you should read where they come from.
Oh, jeez.
Kinda scary.
The magical dudes?
Grimm's Tales.
All Grimm's fairy tales.
Grimm's
they
Fairy-
are.
Oh, they're
yeah.
dark.
Oh,
dark.
yeah.
They're
I love
dark
it.
as hell. Brothers Grimm,
Yeah, yeah.
They're like me on steroids.
It's like nursery rhymes that you
Yeah,
sing,
like you
that you
on
sing
meth.
to your babies.
Oh, my.
You know.
Yeah, but do you know ring
Just that
around
once.
the rosy? That's about the black.
That was
plague.
about the Black Plague. Pocket full of posies was because people used to carry flowers in their pockets so they wouldn't and
So it
stuff
didn't
flowers
smell
like
like
that,
the
so they didn't
dead.
smell like death.
Yeah.
Well, we can't do that
Yeah,
anymore.
ashes, we all fall down. It's because you burn
Burning
the bodies.
Yeah, London Bridges is about
Burning of London.
yeah.
Yeah, the Great London Fire.
Yeah, I mean, so then you take our
Yeah,
all of our childhood stuff, and you're gonna like.
So they're going to
Just blow
redo
it
that
up.
whole movie for 7 magical people.
So then what was
Yeah,
Farrah
7
Jacka?
magical creatures. They probably won't even
Brother
be
John.
humanoid.
creatures.
Well, you know this
Farrah
little piggy
Jacka?
went to the market. That's
Oh, I can't
about
do
like
piggies anymore?
butchering pigs, and people are just
Well,
starting to
one-
realize that now. That's what that's
People
about.
have roast beef,
People
though.
are stupid. They don't
Wait a minute.
realize where bacon comes from, apparently.
No, you can get vegan everything.
Oh,
now.
yeah, vegan.
Vegan
Shunka.
bacon.
And mind you, I've had some vegan stuff that's pretty damn good.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
get me wrong.
All right, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, seriously,
No,
dude.
that's
Some of it's good. Now, I've never had vegan bacon. I can't see
why
vegan
would
They
bacon
make it out of
being worth-
banana peels.
Banana peel?
That's one of them. Yeah, I can't do it.
2 days ago, my boss brought in some bacon.
The turkey bacon.
Some
That's
turkey bacon's
okay.
pretty damn
That's
good,
all right. I
actually.
can do that.
Yeah.
I can do
It's
that.
not as good as
No,
regular
it's not as
bacon.
good
It's
as
not
bacon, but
real.
it's not bad.
It's
But
not
he did it
tofu.
in the air fryer. I guess what you do is
Oh.
you fold it and then
Banana
you
peel?
twist it
Yeah.
and then lay it in the air fryer.
Are we talking about bacon,
Bacon,
or
bacon.
fake bacon?
Regular
No,
bacon.
real bacon.
Real
Okay.
bacon.
In the air fryer.
Air
Because now that we have an air fryer, yeah, I wanted to tell you about that. And that was
You
pretty
got
damn
an air
good.
fryer?
Yeah, that's one.
Our
I think
daughter
air
got it
fryers
for me
make
for my
things-
birthday.
things taste weird.
We're all gonna die fat and happy.
And I'll tell
Yeah,
you what,
I'm
we're
already
gonna die
there.
that
anyway,
thing
so-
works really cool. You
least
can
I'm
really
not.
do a
It
lot
is.
of stuff in that.
You can make
get
fried
air fryer.
Oreos in there.
I have
Fried
bumped into
Oreos?
code on.
You take an Oreo and you wrap it in like a crescent roll.
It's crescent roll.
And then you
gotta
fry 'em.
Dip it in Bisquick.
Yeah,
That
it
sounds so
unless you
good.
have
Dipping
the
'em in
attachments
chocolate.
for if you have the attachments for the like the little silicone things that go down in the air fryer, then you can put them in like Bisquick.
Yeah, yeah,
Make like a
so
like a pancake
We'll have to get some of
Oreo.
this stuff because I'll tell you what, some of this
Deep
is
fried
really
Oreo.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Finn sounds like.
What? That's
Or
what?
we have a dog, and when he wants something that you're eating, he's like, he like
He's
sits there and
he's like, excuse me.
he like grunts at you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Sounds like Elliot.
So that's the big Disney. Was that the?
Was
that the thing?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it wasn't.
there's
It
more?
wasn't the thing. But but that's one of the things that I just read. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
I just saw something else
They
about
just
Disney
they're
too.
just
forget.
chopping away at all the old classics.
They took the names off of something
Oh.
down there. I just saw.
Yeah.
I just read. I forget.
It's
took
Aunt
another name off
Jemima,
something.
Uncle Ben's.
Yeah. Well, that.
What did Aunt Jemima do to anybody? Leave her alone.
Aunt Jemima was a real person. That's
She
the,
was. My
That's
nan
the worst
met her.
part. It was a real, actual person.
And she was an amazing cook,
Yes, she was.
and
she was
not-
actually black.
and she was not offended.
Was she an aunt? But was she an aunt? Maybe that's what. it was.
Oh,
No,
maybe
wasn't
she didn't
an aunt.
have any siblings, so
Yeah,
she didn't
see.
have. Oh,
real
that
aunt.
must be what it
She
is.
was
Yeah,
just Miss Jemima.
my.
we have it's just people just get offended by everything.
There are people that wake up in this world, waiting to see. Ooh, what can I say offends me today, so I can make somebody else feel like.
So somebody
That's
can.
true.
I
That's
can
true.
feel important about today.
Yeah, exactly. So I can justify
I'm the
my
first
my
one, yeah.
pathetic existence.
Yeah, the
I'm the
term
one
"live and
that-
let live" does not exist.
I'm the one that got the.
That's
seven
why I
dwarfs
always
name
loved the
changed.
title of that one James Bond film, "Live and Let Die."
Die.
It just
right?
always made
That should
sense
just be
to
said,
me.
Die.
Yeah, they say misery loves company, but do they really?
Maybe they should get friends, and they wouldn't be so offended by everything.
Exactly.
That would mean they'd have to leave their basement.
Oh my god! And they'd have to see their mom for the first time in 20
See,
years too.
That pisses me off so bad. I don't want to watch Game of Thrones anymore. Like, and I
I've
love
never
Game
actually.
of, what?
I've never.
Oh my god! This guy doesn't watch anything.
No, I'm always late to those things.
Yeah.
I told you I didn't start watching Cheers until 2 seasons before they ended it, and then I had to go back and see everything. We didn't. I told you the story the other day
Yeah.
of Big Bang Theory. We never
Yeah.
watched it. And then because we were all sick together at a friend's house on New Year's Eve, we were just watching this marathon
was
of
our
it
party.
and realized, oh my God, this show is funny as
No,
hell.
I have to change that. You can't call it Big Bang anymore.
But it's just,
Yeah,
probably
it is.
not.
Big-
Yeah,
big
exactly.
intercourse
yeah.
theory.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
It's okay.
no, because they're talking about the Big Bang of the universe.
Yeah, I know.
That wasn't. You can't say that because God created the universe.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
my
right.
goodness.
Right.
You can't
Evolution-
talk about God online.
Evolution
People are
isn't
offended.
real. Evolution isn't real. We were all just put here one day by God.
That's like saying that the continents were never all one together,
They
and it was
weren't.
called Pangea.
They weren't. They weren't.
Uh-oh, I feel a flat Earth coming.
Flat Earth. That is a good one. I
You
have
think?
a
There it
friend.
is.
A friend. My friend's dad is a flat earther, and I'm like, if you
Get
look
him here.
up, if you look
Oh.
Get him
up,
here.
you
Oh.
can see it's around. I'm like a little
No,
concerned
you so
for you.
need to bring him over sometime.
I can call in. Ooh,
All
that'd
I
be
can
great.
hear
Call
is our
in or even
Saturday
come
morning
over for
programs.
that.
The world's a big blue marble.
Oh,
You
right.
see it from out there.
Yes, I
That
remember
doesn't look
that.
flat. You're gonna tell me Earth is flat? Like, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna tell me I'm wrong? Like that guy from the video that went viral about the. I just can't. You know, Mom. Like,
What
this guy,
happened?
you just.
What does this space
If
station
the
do? Just go
world
from one
was
side
flat,
to the other? And
my
back
name
and-
is Kitty. I will sit on the edge and push you the hell off.
Well,
I'll join you. That sounds fantastic. There are so many people that just you don't deserve to be here. Just
Yes,
You don't.
thank you.
I'm sorry, you just don't.
You've abused the privilege. You have to go now.
a millennial with an attitude.
You've done too many things and you don't belong here anymore.
No.
I'm talking about you, Brock Turner. Thank you.
Wow.
And Ted Turner too.
Do I have to bleep those? Can I leave those out there or do I have to bleep that?
We'll talk about
William
that later on.
Shatner
Yeah.
went up,
That's true.
and this is a man who played a character that populated many, many planets.
Many different, yeah, it's true.
What do you mean it's not round? What do you mean our planets aren't
Maybe
round?
it's just a
I'm
big,
sorry.
big flat
You
thing.
guys could do a whole episode about conspiracy theories.
Oh, we
We
want
have.
to. We've done some.
We
and
did
I
we
a
have
want
a
to do
list.
more.
I have a list.
Okay.
I took a conspiracy theories class. in
Anytime
college.
you want, you're welcome here. Anytime.
Imagine your diagram at school, all these little squares.
flat.
little
flat lines.
squares.
That'd
Where
be
does the
hilarious.
water go?
We should convince somebody to do that.
Saturn,
Make
do you
our
see
solar
it?
system and then just write on a piece of paper, just draw what you think everything looks like flat and then just turn it in. What is your teacher going to say? What are they going to say? You'd be like, actually, my family believes
That this
that the
is
Earth
it.
is flat.
Yeah, here it is. a
Everything
flat
is
piece of
flat.
paper.
Your feet are flat. Your
They're
sense
too
of
busy
humor is
putting
flat
out,
too.
giving you pieces of paper that says, now circle the person that most looks like you. I'm like, kiss my.
So many bleeps.
That one's too skinny, and this one's got hair. And
Yeah.
This one's the wrong color. This one's the wrong sex. This one's the wrong. This is.
This one's not tall enough.
I need that one's boobs, and this one's butt.
Well, Ava had a baby doll that was like a little black baby doll because JLo was mixed, and she wanted to know why all her baby dolls were white. So she got a black baby doll, and people were like weird about it for whatever reason.
Perfect.
I'm like,
now see,
who
I
cares?
don't have a problem with that.
I don't
I don't have
know
a
what the
problem
big
with that
deal
at all. I
is.
really don't.
No.
But you don't need your teachers throwing that in your face.
Yeah,
Prejudice
telling
is
you
taught.
what to think.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Prejudice is
that's
taught.
taught
agreed.
and learned.
I agree.
All right, we're 20 minutes in. We're going to take a real quick break
Sweet.
because I think we do have some sponsors now. And when we get back, Doc's going to get his wish.
Yay.
Problem is,
Where am I going?
be careful what you wish for because you might get it. We'll be right back.
Nice.
Being a busy professional often means early mornings and late nights. That's why I kickstart my day with a hot cup of Legacy coffee. With its bold flavor and boost of energy, I power through my day. I don't know where I'd be without my Legacy. It's shipped free to my door, and every purchase donates to charity. Order your Legacy coffee today by going to legacybrewing.shop. Link in the description of this podcast. Hello, this is legacybrewing.shop. How may I help you?
Yes, I was wondering, is it true that shipping is free?
Why, yes, it is, sir.
And is it also true that every purchase donates to charity?
Absolutely. We donate 10% of all proceeds to wildlife preservation.
That's amazing. Okay, hang on. I'm going to legacybrewing.shop now to place my order. Please hold. I won't be long.
Sir, you don't need to be on the phone with me to place your order.
Okay, I'm back. How soon can I place my next order?
As soon as you'd like. Just go to legacybrewing.shop, place your order, and have it shipped to your home for free.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Legacy Coffee. What is your legacy?
If you enjoy this podcast, please consider joining our Patreon, where you can enjoy ad-free listening and uncensored shows. Link in the description of this podcast.
Okay, so that was the gong.
That was the gong.
That was the gong.
Yeah.
Anyway,
making my three wishes right now. Uh-oh.
Hang on.
And on that note.
In that case, we're still technically in break.
Yes.
So when you go
All right,
back
we
to
take a
that,
break.
we're going to,
That's right. We'll bleep it out. Bleep, 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 bleep.
Yeah.
bleep. So that's for real? This guy wants seven dwarfs and
7 magical. No, Disney is going
And they're gonna do that.
because they've already started remake, and this guy did it, and Disney said, you know what, you're right.
That's
We're gonna
my
make them
favorite ride at
7
Disneyland.
magical
that's
creatures.
my favorite ride at Disneyland, the Seven Dwarfs. Yep.
That is ridiculous.
I gotta put something in before.
Very,
I have a
very
problem.
annoying. I'm actually going to pause this then since we're going to get
ahead.
stuff. So,
Yeah?
okay.
Yeah.
And
We
we're
are back.
Yeah.
And
I'm ready.
Doc?
I'm ready.
you like
I'm all.
you like the rants.
I do like
You're
the
all
rants.
about the Madman
I
rants.
do like Madman rants.
I try
I'm a
to
big
hold them
fan.
back because
Not to hold
sometimes I
them
can
back.
get a little.
No.
All right.
Yeah. Do we have any music for
All right.
Madman rant? Little theme music. Little.
We can always add
We
that
can always
later.
do that later. All right.
Right.
Let's get some.
I'm going to shut down your mics temporarily.
That's not fair.
Do my no because then when I'm done, I'm going to open it up to all the comments.
What if I have a comment in the meantime? Wait, let me get a pad.
Keep it to yourself.
Just like when you drive, when you drink too much and you have to drive home, you have to hold it.
Just
right.
a little bit longer now.
Really?
Hold
That's
it.
what she said. All right.
All right, and this is one that it's bugged me for a while. This week in the news, it's bugged me just more than usual. I'm getting tired of it. We are not even the end of the first month, and we have well over a dozen cops dead because people just think it's open season on cops. And let me tell you what, this bugs the living hell out of me. I'm tired of it. I've never thought there was a need for it. I don't care what your problem is. But we have so many people that go, oh, it's time to defund the police. It's time to do this, time to do that, to the point where people have declared open season on the police. And I think it's time to turn the tables. All right? If you kill a cop, here, this is me. Now, this is just me. And I'll explain why at the end. If you kill a cop, as far as I'm concerned, no need to waste taxpayer money to bring you in. All right? If it's one of those where there are other cops, finish the job, zip the bag, all done. But if you get away, then it's just hunting time. And you know you're being hunted. You know how it's going to end. And you're going to be forced to look over your shoulder for what is going to be the very short rest of your life. Now, here's the other thing. Here's the part where it starts to get a little controversial. Your family, the killer's family, is going to be on the hook for the cop's funeral expenses. So before you go and decide you think it's a good idea to pull this trigger, know that your family is going to suffer because of this. It's not going to be just you. All of a sudden, you might think twice. If it's one of those idiots out on the street because some piece of liberal DA who seems to think the system needs to be changed and reimagined, well, imagine this. First of all, killer's family on hook for the funeral expenses. The DA's office will be on the hook for 20 years worth of the officer's salary for the family, and the family gets to decide which member of the DA's family to eliminate. So the DA can feel part of the pain that they inflicted with their stupid crap liberal policies. Because one of the reasons that this happens is these people, the DAs and politicians, they have no skin in the game. Now you got some skin in the game. Now you're going to think of things a little bit differently. If the cop killer is one of these illegal aliens that got in under the current open border policy, okay, the administration itself is on the hook for the funeral expenses, 20 years of the officer's salary, plus full tuition for any and all of the officer's children's, they're going to be children's going to cop, no, of the officer's children, and the family gets to choose one member of Congress, any one member that they want, that has openly called for defunding the police, that has openly called for open borders, to be publicly executed. Now, does this sound rough? Yes, it does. But here's the thing. It only has to happen 2, maybe 3 times, and things are going to finally change. When all of these people that make these decisions without any skin in the game have skin in the game, is going to change. And me, I don't. I do not have a problem with this. Other people might. That's my rant. Opening the table for questions and comments and anything else, any other thoughts on your mark, get set, go.
I mean, that's a good rant. I mean,
That is a good rant.
Do you know any cops personally?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
My grandfather was one, too.
Okay. I think it's funny that, like, the mayor from Minneapolis of the big defund the police movement, and then the crime went catastrophically wrong, and then she was like, okay, maybe we need some we need some money put back into police.
Backpedaling a little.
I would have been like, screw you. You want to defund the police, live with it. I mean, everything you say, I agree with, almost.
And I know it, and it does. It sounds harsh, and I know what I said is harsh. But like I said, it only has to happen once or twice, maybe 3 times.
What about this? What about joint and severally liable for the family of the killer? So not only you shoot the cop, not just you guilty, wanted by police, now your whole family is. And if they capture one of your family, they can be held responsible for the killing.
Okay, I like
What do you
that.
think?
Now, see, I like that.
I don't, because we're all related to... I won't
Idiots.
say it.
Well,
I was going to say, but
Everybody has trash.
everybody has trash.
Well, you got to clean the trash. That's the way it is. Yeah, tell the trash, hey, I don't want to go to jail for you. because you're killing a cop. Now I'm at risk.
Right. And I think a lot of the people that do that are always claim that they're so big on their family. Well, now all of a sudden they have some skin in the game. They might change what they're about to do.
The Pendulum Society is a registered 501c3 nonprofit organization, achieving the impossible by orchestrating a cultivation of business relationships to take out the stigma of homelessness, both human and animal. We forward the traditions of preservation of nature, wildlife conservation, open space, and history. Music and cultural foods bring together all peoples for a stable foundation at our two main gala events, Alpha Centauri and Fools Gone Wild. The tick-tock of time illuminates and elucidates our clients, the fruition of stable permanence. What does your time say about you?
The Pendulum Society is a 501c3 nonprofit organization designed to help those in need that have no other means of getting assistance. Vets struggling with depression, homeless vets, animal abuse prevention, wildlife preservation are just a few of the things the Pendulum Society does. Donate to this amazing organization by going to thependulumsociety.org. Link in the description of this podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, we took a quick break because that was intense, and I understand that. So, okay, here we go. Here's the question and comments section.
All right, Kitty, you're up.
No, I defer to Dr. Myke because he's the one with the degree.
Well, I think we should explain to the international audience like what you're talking about. Maybe they don't know what's going on. No?
They might not.
Yeah.
Low-life pieces of targeting cops just because they're wearing a uniform.
Okay, there you have it.
Yeah, short and to the point.
I can drag that out if you want me to. Low-life pieces of... No, I'm just... And the problem is we have prosecutors that don't want to prosecute this stuff. They're all for like soft on crime. They don't want to. They're afraid of offending somebody now by putting people in jail. And some people that's where they deserve to be. Look, some people I don't even think they have a place on this planet. They serve absolutely no use whatsoever, even as spare parts, because their bodies are so polluted with drugs and other poisons. They're useless to us.
Oh, that's why
they don't need to be here, period.
That's why you release a
okay.
virus out to the public.
Yeah, but it wasn't up to China to do that. We could have done that ourselves when it was time.
Quotes in China, quotes.
We have several I have several fundamentals that I'm having a hard time wrapping around. We have a society that has closed its state institutions or federal institutions for mental illness, and we have kicked it down to the local municipal level. And it's very frustrating as someone who has formerly been in government that has even happened. Then you have the problem where people demand mandatory minimums, and quite frankly, they're a bit racist. Okay, there is a difference for crack cocaine versus powder cocaine, and it targets certain sects of society. And I have a problem with that. I also have a problem with, I've been in government where I've had to hire and fire policemen, and it's not a great position to be in. Somebody who is just starting out in a policeman's position, $20,000 to $36,000 a year, you're asking a lot of a person who has only fired a firearm at a target and never has had to take a human life. On the other side of that, you have people who have been diagnosed.
Now I finally found a use for these useless people. Live targets. That way they can get used to that.
Is this the purge?
Yeah. We
Sometimes it does feel like the purge. And you have the commentary from both sides of government. You have Republicans who it is a right and follow the Second Amendment to its extraordinary strict letter. And then you have Democrats who hate the people. And not all Democrats, but there is a large proportion. And then you have the media who have never even been to a firing range. So I have problems with this on a whole bunch of levels. So I would defer to Doc.
I'm just saying, I think your rant was about, you can argue the side for the cops and their theory and, if they're trained well enough to against how they're reacting to the public issue. But your rant was about people having open season on cops,
which is what it's pretty much turned into. Yes, right.
I think the greatest, not to get political at all, but one of the greatest commercials I saw was when Trump's administration had that 911 commercial. Did you see that? Where somebody called 911 and it was just a tape recording.
It was silent.
Oh yeah,
silence.
Yeah, that was because everything was starting to be. That's when the defund movement started.
And it was leave your message at the beat. We'll get back to you.
And that's what
that's what they get.
That's what they
get. Right.
Listen, my whole thing with it is, it was. I am like a firm believer that just because one life is taken, it shouldn't be replaced by another life. You shouldn't. Multiple lives don't need to be taken for people to learn a lesson. And I know sometimes it feels like it does, but at the same time, it's a very rough area to go into.
I agree.
Don't get me wrong.
I was I was venting for the most part, but at the same time, it's like
you're angry.
That would just make it
right
so simple.
Yeah,
the point is how to stop it.
You have
the people that are making the decisions again have no skin in the game. You get them to put some skin in the game, and all of a sudden they're going to start actually thinking the way people should think.
I think people think the way media makes them think. Social media,
1,000%.
The
they
news,
skew people's point of view.
It does, and so people don't know. I don't know anything about certain cops' lifestyles. I don't know. I would never. I would never kill somebody just because. Oh, hey, you just look like somebody I don't like, because they could be on your side.
You would be terrible at the purge.
Yeah. I'd be the first one dead. It's fine.
Here's
another
thought. Would you put your life on the line for your fellow man for $36,000 a year?
Oh God, no.
Hell no.
I do it every day when I walk into a hospital.
Yeah. 37.
No. There's no way, especially I feel like cops have a target on their back right now.
Right now they do. And that's
maybe
why
we
I'm
should start
so
a big Blue
angry.
Lives Matter. Blue Lives Matter.
They do. We did start that.
Yeah, so we should should continue that, right? Blue Lives Matter.
It's not just that the Blue Lives Matter. It's the fact that these people have gone into this because they feel it's their calling, and that's great and it's wonderful. And I have relatives that are in law enforcement, and I have relatives deceased that were in government, and I spent a significant amount of my life in government, and it is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous what you hear from one side versus the other side, and I have structured my life that I want to hear from both sides. I want to hear someone else's opinion, and I like the debate, and I want to hear those comments. But when you walk out your door and you decide that you're going to take an officer's life for no other reason than he is in your way from committing a crime, I don't have much sympathy for you.
Or anybody's lives. Like you walk into some people walk into a gas station and decide they want to rob it, and they just shoot somebody.
Just say they want to shoot them too. Yeah,
point blank range for no reason. There's no reason for it, and I understand that there's like a mental health stigma around a lot of it. Like people think, well, this person was a sociopath, that's why they did that. That's not an excuse anymore. I'm sorry. It's not. I don't feel bad for people like that. You do deserve to die. How
do you really feel about
it? I don't like you.
Don't beat around the bush.
I'm not the only one.
No, no.
You shouldn't be walking around like you shouldn't be playing God. You don't get to decide who lives and who dies just because I don't really like you. So if that was the case, then I got a lot of people that I would like to just. I got a list.
Yes.
Let me just give it to someone because I'm in control, right? That's.
But doesn't it all come down to making sure that we elect people into office that represent the people as a whole instead of their
don't.
own? Yeah, it's exactly
That's
it.
the problem.
They pick the people who are going to collect the most money. They do not choose people who are going to be. Who have their values.
That represent
a good
the mass.
person cannot get elected in this country, and that is a huge problem.
Well, look, they brought in a little Play-Doh man who can make him look like whatever they want him to make him look like. He's just a puppet. He is not. People hate Biden. They hate Joe Biden. I understand. I hate his policies. I hate what he stands for. But people don't realize that it's not really him. It's
He's a puppet.
He's a puppet.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
He's a puppet now. There's
And who is
nothing
the
to
puppet
him.
master? Who's running the show?
Yeah.
No, that's you follow the money for that.
Oh,
You know, and you
magical
look
people.
you look at Congress as a whole, and you look at how we have state representatives and we have federal representatives, and that's not where most of the problems that occur in Washington happen within those doors. It's not is what happening out in the public. They don't like the people, both sides. They don't like the people. They don't like the fact that you think for yourselves. They don't want you to see on the internet what you want to look at, and what you are looking for is the same values and beliefs that you hold dear. They don't want you looking at someone else's opinion. They don't want you being informed. They don't want you to read cursive. They don't want you to own a firearm. It's not just that they don't want you to have a firearm. They don't like you for wanting a firearm. Even though constitutionally that Second Amendment is there for two reasons. One, that you can defend yourself. The second is to defend in case the country goes to hell in a handbasket. We are a joke around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Around the world, we are a joke. We used to be almost considered to the point of what Romans used to be. A Roman soldier could walk across all of the continents, and everyone would be in fear to lay hard to him.
Right.
And it is no longer that way.
No.
We handle proportional responses.
So what happens when you kill a Roman officer back then? Right? Instant.
Destroy your
Instant.
village.
You and all your family and everyone that's ever heard of you.
Yep.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah, so that's
So it's what you
Madman,
said, basically.
Madman justice. I like it.
Well,
Hey, here's a vote.
yeah.
I'll give you a vote. You
I
run
feel
on
like
that platform, I'll root for you.
We've gotten so far away from what this country once stood for, and
Absolutely.
it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
I agree.
You know, the thing is, even these people that have these ultra liberal socialist ideas and opinions, this is America. You want that opinion? I'm not going to tell you can't think like that, but I'm sure as hell not going to let you
Tell me
and turn me into what you've. Because no, you find me one socialist country anywhere in the world where it's worked, and okay, we'll give it a try. But guess what? You can't, because it has failed miserably and destroyed everybody in that country with those views and those policies.
My problem with the liberal
Why would it be any different this here?
The liberal population right now is the same way. They want to get in your face and they want to yell their opinions. So I'm louder than you, so I'm right. But they're not. Listen, I understand both sides of it. A 26-year-old
Right.
female. I'm educated on different political topics and a bunch of different topics, but I'm not going to sit there and tell you that your viewpoints are wrong. I understand both sides of it, but at the end of the day, I voted for the person that I thought could help this country. And the sad part is that
He lost?
a lot of times he lost. He lost. Sad part about it is that Jo Jorgensen, the independent party candidate, she probably was the best candidate for the job, but because she wasn't loud enough, nobody
I thought
heard
she
her.
was Green Party.
Oh no, you're right. She is Green Party. You're
Okay.
right. But all her views were like a mesh of all the best views from each side, and because she
And
wasn't
that's
loud
what
enough,
we need.
that's
The problem with the grassroots campaign is they're not going to like what you have to say.
Oh yeah, yep.
And that, because I like Jo. I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Jo a lot. And I have been fortunate enough to go and see her political speak. I go to a lot of different political things just because I want to hear what someone else has to say. That's not meaning I agree with you. I just want to hear what you have to say. I am tired of the same old stupid left,
gosh.
right, and south.
Somebody who listens.
What? Oh, sorry.
How do
Wow.
you form your own opinion if you're not
Well
open
played.
to everyone else's thoughts and
Yeah,
ideas?
make up your own mind.
I went to a Republican gala, I think it was at the courthouse one time, and I was not allowed in because I am not a card-carrying Republican. So I had to go find
Shame
a
on you.
Republican, and you weren't available, so I
shame
had to
on
find
you.
someone else. But that's horrible. I want to hear what someone else said. There are people in office I personally think should be in jail.
And why were you? And why were you held out? I mean,
Because I'm a Democrat.
But that's ridiculous. One of my pet peeves right now is watching people who are running for office totally just rip the other opponent apart. Listen, if you are politically upright and living by your standards, you should be able to run on your own crap.
Sure.
You know?
It's like a popularity contest.
Yeah,
It is.
If you've done what you think is right and you've walked the line, so to speak, you should be able to stand on your own views. You shouldn't have to tear down your opponent.
And that's one
to
of the
get
things is the mudslinging. The first
Well, that's
one
been going on
to do
forever.
with on those mudslinging campaigns of trying to discredit the other person immediately tells me that, okay, you're somebody that I shouldn't even consider because you're not trying to run so much on what you want to do
Or what you've done.
or what you've done. You're trying to run on discrediting this other person.
Right.
So
So what
right
if-
then and there, as soon as you start that, I won't believe a word you say.
What do you bring to the table? What is yours? What are you representing? Tell the people, because the people want to hear what you've got, not what the other guy didn't do or what
Right.
you thought he should have done.
And there should be truth in advertising, meaning they should have to tell the truth. They shouldn't be allowed to get away with the lies they tell.
Well, then
and
there
the
wouldn't be anybody
stories.
in office.
There wouldn't, but
No, there
I'm just
wouldn't.
saying.
Well, look at the night you and I went to the club. It was put out to general public that I'm an alcoholic.
Here.
Well,
Sorry.
Good for you.
Sorry about that.
now wait.
That,
Now we're talking truth in advertising, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah,
You can't get mad at that.
No.
That's
I
not mudslinging.
wasn't mad at them saying that I drink too much.
No.
I really don't care about that. The point was, I had left a meeting. I had met my cousin at a local private club, and we were singing because that's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
But I got a dead fish sent to my house.
Nice.
What kind of fish?
Kitty sleeps with the fishes.
Actually, it was a nice salmon.
There you go.
Could
Yeah.
you eat
Delicious.
it, or could-
Yeah,
or-
it was good. I soaked it in Jack Daniels and had a good time with it.
maybe that was a
Alcoholic.
gift. Maybe that was
It wasn't a
actually-
gift.
oh,
It wasn't a gift.
Okay.
It was
Jack and
it was
fish.
written on paper,
Oh,
Whoa.
Oh,
and
thank you so much. That's what I would have said. Thank
and I
you.
went, well, that's Mrs. to you, and I played it off because
nothing original. Just,
no, it was
Oh my God.
dead flowers and a dead fish.
Amateurs.
Just like
Amateurs.
you, I like dead flowers.
I'm like, this is Bridgerton. This is great.
Apparently, you got under somebody's skin, and they rather than argue with you up front and up close and personal,
No.
they're just going to do the sneaky crap because confrontation face to face with Kitty's a little rough.
Listen, I love the petty. I'm here for it. That's
It's not
adorable.
easy to do. I've done it.
Oh no,
No, it's not.
But
And
and most of these don't have a stomach for it.
And the madman can tell you that I am either loved or hated.
Yeah.
There's
no in
not-
between.
Here,
There's
here.
no in
Yeah.
between.
When and she knows the very first time I met her. Well, I hadn't actually officially
All right,
met her yet.
She's not listening. Did you hate her or love her? She's not
No.
listening.
Well, we've talked about it. She
okay.
knows. She knows.
Just wondering.
She knows.
thought,
I would
who
watch this
is that?
woman. Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think
Kitty
I
has-
might have been.
Kitty has a
even,
presence.
Well, it
I
might have
do.
even been with you because it was at a place that doesn't exist anymore. The building was knocked down and turned into something else out
Right.
there. Yeah. Okay.
And in she struts
and she
with her
strut- and
self-all. Yeah,
strut-
and she
didn't
does.
strut.
You
I
do strut.
sauntered.
And
no,
she,
you strut, girl.
She dresses
Sauntered strut.
nicely. She dresses nicely,
does.
which alone in this day and age, let's
And you
face
have an
it,
air of arrogance. There's absolutely no
intimidates
two ways
people
about
because
that.
people don't know how.
Good for you.
Right, there's a confidence about you, and I made
the assumption
wrong
that-
assumption that like
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody
I
makes
think
that
we just
assumption.
found out who sent the fish.
yeah,
Yeah, there it is.
no, because this
afford
happened
it.
well after.
Yeah, it was well
exactly.
after. No, it's I
Consider
dress
it
when
dead
I go
chicken.
out.
No, it's not.
I like to look appropriate when
touch
I,
chicken.
no matter what the occasion, even if it's I'm going riding. I volunteer at a riding place just because I want what they give out for pre-presents, and I like that. And not everybody likes fox hunting. Hey, that's great. I like the tradition. I like what
PETA
it's
doesn't like that.
I really don't care.
Just saying.
I can tell you, my third year when I was in the press, I went to this very posh party, and I went home and I said, Nana, may I please borrow your fur coat? and I rented an Adonis for the evening. It was great. And, you know, he played his part very well. And this woman kept following me around going, do you know how many animals had to die for that fur coat?
47. Thank you.
And I got, well, I'm a little fluffier than you are, honey.
Yeah, especially with that coat on.
that pelt had to fit a lot of places. I'm a little more round.
So 48.
So this woman kept following me around all evening going, do you know how many animals had to die for that coat? And I finally got very angry, and I was very impolite, and I turned around. I said, do you know how many times I had to that animal to get that coat? Wow. She left me around the rest of the night, which I was very happy about. Wow. I don't like becoming that person, but if you make me become that person, I cannot guarantee what's going to come out of my mouth.
I like that you become that person.
Most people do.
That's fantastic.
We do too. That's why we love her.
Except for you centered the dead fish.
Yeah.
So.
I did not. Damn it.
I try to be a peacemaker. I do try to be the peacemaker. I try to look at everybody's point of view and try to find a way to resolve the situation. I get very pissy about people who stand on their high horse that have never been in that situation. Mm-hmm. So I get a little flustered about it. And I do not behave very demurely when I've had a few cocktails, which is why everybody likes to come sit next to me.
At least you need a few cocktails. I don't even need one.
Well, I used to be that way.
That should beat me to it. That should beat me to it.
I used to be that way. And then I found that it's much easier to get along with people with honey rather than vinegar.
One of the things I've always liked about Kitty, and since I got to know her, and since I got to know her after that initial meeting, I mean, let's face it, if I hadn't taken the time to get to know her, I wouldn't have my wife.
Right.
Because she's the one that introduced me to my wife. Oh, yeah.
She's been suffering ever since.
Yeah, well, yeah. But that's her problem.
The three rings of marriage, yes. The engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the suffering.
But one of the things I always liked about Kitty is she will walk into a room like that, confident and with an air about her and well-dressed, looking very
beautiful.
Yeah,
posh.
And posh.
Yes.
Okay.
Well dressed.
Put together.
Yeah.
A queen, if
But
you will.
Yeah.
Within 5 minutes,
She
if she
owns the
needs
room when
to,
she
she will
walks in
turn
it.
into a total redneck and kick your
Yeah. If she has to, she would.
while she's still dressed up. Yes.
We went to...
In her heels.
In her heels.
Damn, I broke a nail.
I don't break nails when I'm in public. I took the Madman to a social event that I had to do for government. And you wear a kilt.
Yes.
And that was the night I ate one too many of those cheese
that was
peppers.
at
My God, they were
At a
good.
very well-known manufacturer of guitars.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, locally.
It was a very
C.F.
posh
Martin.
event. And I love the Martins. I do.
I love the guitars.
I
don't know the Martins. I just know the guitars. So I play
I
guitar.
know the only CFO that was not a Martin that ran the company. And he was a very nice man. And I really enjoyed learning a lot from him, Tigger. And Chris owns it now. It's family run. Mm-hmm. And I have a good time. That too.
Oh, you need a break, Madman?
that was his choice specialty, and he married a judge. So I do know all the history. So we had a very nice party, and someone came in and wanted to pick a fight, and I refused to participate in the fight. And I said, look, if you'd like to discuss with me later, we can go somewhere and have a conversation about it, because I would like to hear why you're being And I was very calm about it.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were.
And I'm happy to take you out and have drinks. Tell me what your problem is, and let's find a way to work it out. If you're going to act like an public,
We'll just take you out.
I have no problem taking off my heel and beating you to death with it.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
but we had a good time, though.
It was. It was actually very good. But there was that one and yes, I remember that. And
Yes.
Did they back
you were
down
more
then?
patient than I would have been.
I wanted to take my heel off and stab them with my heel, but I had a martini in the other hand, and I didn't want to spill it because that would be alcohol abuse.
Alcoholic.
Yeah.
And don't look at me. I didn't have to talk her down off the ledge or anything like that. No, she all on her own. She's like, this just isn't going to. This is not worth. This is not where I want to pick this fight.
Yes.
This is not where I want.
Yeah.
She, like I said, she knows when to and when not to.
I try to be very demure, but it doesn't work because I flunked finishing school the first time and had to do a repeat session.
Uh-huh.
How many times did you have to do the repeat session?
I only had the one because,
They kicked her out.
Yeah.
well, it was close, but Nan went and talked to them. I have a problem where they would sit there and she would pull down her glasses to the end of her nose and never mind about the trivialities of your day when your husband comes home from work. And I'm just thinking, I work too.
Oh my goodness.
When your husband comes home.
Yes.
As though you're still subservient
Right.
and his needs
Yes.
are more important than yours.
And I
Smart woman. Just saying. Oh.
I have certain rules when we
There
go
was
out.
there was a name for those times.
Yeah.
We call them the good old days. Just kidding.
And you both will die.
I will quit my job right now. Hallelujah.
Listen, there's a quote somewhere that's like,
Oh, you
You
know
get to
I'm
stay
kidding.
home, Petey.
Yes.
yeah, there's a quote somewhere. It's like, independent women like ruined our lives. Like
Yes.
we used to just sit at home
I
and
don't-
like make some dinner.
and I don't
I'm not
actually-
saying it's you're wrong. You're not wrong, but like I like making my own money. But
Right.
if I could just like take a nap, I mean that would be cool.
Yeah, wouldn't it be cool?
I would like
Here's
to take
that
a nap.
problem with that philosophy. It's
Nothing.
great.
There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, look at that.
No, it's
We
the,
don't
I have to drive home with you.
camera.
I'm
about
going
to
to
have
have to rearrange the seating
We're gonna
around this
have-
table.
It's the
I can
playground.
reach you from
She
here.
can, she can reach you under the table and
She
above the
does-
table
she
at this
didn't have-
point.
She
so.
doesn't have to.
I didn't wish for a kitty rat. What's going on?
Yeah, well, you asked for
I
it.
thought I did.
Yeah, you actually
I
did.
did.
Your social status, your marriage relationship is what you put into it, and that goes vice versa. But if you think I'm going to stay home, eat bonbons, raise your children, and keep your house immaculate, you got another thing coming.
I won't keep your house immaculate, but I will eat bonbons and take naps.
I work, therefore.
yeah.
I prefer to have someone come in and clean the house because Lord knows I don't have enough hours and energy. And if you are a rental, then you better pull your own damn share. But because if you want to claim that you're king in my castle, then you fucking clean it.
Agreed.
And let's face it, he's not going to clean.
No.
Stop it. Stop it.
Beep.
Stop. And this week's back.
Beep.
This week's,
This is not the 1950s, and you are not Mrs. Cleaver.
No.
You know. And,
But I do wear the pearls.
And you give as good as you get. And if you
Absolutely.
want your wife or your partner to treat you with respect, then you need to dish out the same. If you're not willing to do that, then you probably shouldn't be in a relationship.
That is correct. And that is why I am the ice queen.
The men are broken.
This week's Madman rant was brought to you by Legacy Coffee.
Legacy Brewing. .shop.
Hey, you know, the thing is, I was starting to think maybe I shouldn't have gone there because that was kind of dark and that was kind of.
And
But I'm
here we
glad
are.
we're back to
I'm
where
glad
we
it's the entertainment
normally
portion
are.
of the evening.
What's the old saying? Tell me what I can't do. It'll be the first thing on my list.
Right,
Yes.
exactly. Yes.
And I've raised my daughters that way too.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yep.
I loved my first husband very much, and there's not a man alive in this world that can ever live up to him. The second and third, total jerks. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I probably drove them there because I expect a lot.
I think your last one got there all by himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was the math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that had something to do with it. Yeah, you had nothing
He
to
didn't
do.
start
you
out
had
that
nothing
way.
to do with it. Yeah, but
No,
you had
he
nothing to
didn't.
do with that. That was a choice he
He
made.
just went
and-
nuts.
Yes.
Madman's
When-
got some meth out there. He told me.
When you stage a nutty,
What?
beep. I have a nutty like once or twice a year.
No, I said I had some mint growing out
Oh,
back.
mint. Yeah.
Mint.
I just heard
I have
For
a mint
mojito.
out front. I'll bring you some mint. You can gladly grow it. It's not hard to grow.
Have you met me?
I'll come over and look for it. Look after it. No, I do well with certain things. I do not do well. You know, I'd be happy with a poison garden in a castle, you know, wearing long flowing robes and just complaining.
Same.
Just drinking excessively.
Just fundamental differences between men and women. I mean, let's be real. This morning's rant was, you know, the dog had an accident in the house. And you took the rug out the back door and threw it on alongside the dry, you know, in the driveway instead of hanging it over the fence so it could possibly dry. Or maybe when I went to wash it, I could find it. And she says, "Mom, it's no big deal." And I'm like, "It's not a big deal to you because he doesn't do it to you every 3 days."
It's worth fighting over. Like,
I
agree.
wasn't
You have
fighting.
to
He
pick
wasn't
your-
there.
You have to
Yeah.
pick your
You
battles.
have to pick your battles.
Yeah,
so she
absolutely.
was when she was telling me it, she made it sound like she was like scolding him
It was
over the
just
phone. I was like, who
frustration.
cares? And she was like, no,
Well,
I
she was
didn't say
just
that to him.
venting,
I
like-
just,
I didn't.
yeah.
much
He
like
wasn't
I
there.
did, yeah.
I didn't scold him. I was having a moment
Yeah.
because it's like it's the same conversation
Over
and
and
over and over
Yeah,
and
do you
over.
notice
And it's like
who
the
was
lights are
chiming in?
on,
I'm
but
just
nobody's
saying.
home.
Yeah.
Did we notice who was chiming in? It wasn't the men. I'm just
I was
saying.
thinking of something else.
Like,
So she's got us there, though. She does.
Men
She's got us
have to be
there.
told that. No offense, but no, full offense. Full offense. You have to be told. You have to be told things like multiple times.
Before
Not
you
all
retain
men.
them.
Not all men,
not
but
all
most
She thinks a
men.
talk like that's going to get her invited back.
You've
tape
already
next
invited me
Saturday.
back.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can't.
I already
give
did.
back.
Yeah,
No
she-
rescinding the
invited-
offer. She's almost family.
She is family.
She invited herself. back.
There are certain.
I did not.
There should be certain rules that you have that don't have to be spoken. If you make a mess, clean it up. When you're out in public, you don't fight. I have very strict rules about certain things, and such as when you go out, you have to wear pants.
Well, unless you got a kilt on.
Unless you're wearing a kilt.
Unless you're wearing a
Okay,
kilt.
thank you. Because
Unless you're wearing a kilt.
sometimes,
Some people should wear
Hey.
Wait, you were in a relationship with someone that didn't want to wear pants?
Yes.
yeah.
Well,
Yes.
it was
Is this
hard
like
to
a current
Naturalist.
relationship? Or
it was hard to wear the pants because Kitty had them on.
That's true. And I usually carry their balls in my pocketbook.
No,
Or my
it's
clutch. It
Shorts.
just
Oh,
depends.
shorts always, and just like cut off
That's
sweat
still short.
shorts type of thing.
It's 17
oh, not
degrees.
shorts.
I'm going
not
out of
shorts.
shorts.
Yeah, ooh.
Some people do that.
Some people
And I
just.
don't mind. I
you
don't
wearing
mind
shorts right now?
shorts.
I'm not.
It's the T-shirt that says "I'm not his mother." But
Yeah, I don't wear t-shirts,
wear
but
them
okay.
everywhere.
No, you can't.
I can.
And then
Just saying.
I just looked.
No, that's
Pants on
crap
today.
because I know you.
I'm up
and
here,
I-
people.
and
When
I
you're
know
going
you,
somewhere-
you know when to
Yes,
dress appropriately.
exactly. Like
yes.
you're not going to go to a funeral in a pair of shorts
There
and
are
a
some
t-shirt.
people
hey, you wear
that
the red
don't.
socks for my birthday, and I
I
appreciate it.
did wear red socks for your
Yes,
birthday.
you did, and I appreciated that.
And he's a White Sox fan, so that's
Yeah,
a
there
lot
you
coming
go.
from him.
I'm not.
You better not be a White Sox fan.
That was a joke about socks, not
Yeah,
about baseball,
I
because
know.
I don't care
well,
about
your
baseball.
joke sucks.
Well played. Well played.
Well played indeed.
That was a very cringy dad joke.
We love those around here. We really do.
Yeah.
I can't understand if you go out in public that you don't know how to dress yourself or find a tie or locate a sport coat. I don't understand those things.
I usually find those things in my closet. It's not that hard.
Well, I purchase them, and then when you whine about things, that just makes me crazy.
Crazy.
I
That's a
keep-
good rant,
I
dude.
keep my sport coat, my nice shirts, and my ties right next to Elton John in my closet.
I know what Elton John is. Yeah, we talked about that.
I don't
before.
Not in
understand
the
how people
closet.
don't know how to
got
shop
batteries.
their own shoes.
She doesn't know who Elton John is.
Is it a white sports
Elton
coat?
John is my baseball bat.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of bicycle chain wrapped on the end of it.
You
I
named
call
it
him.
Elton John.
Well, yeah, because just like my favorite singer, he spends most of his life in his closet, and when
not
he
really
does come out, he's going up someone's ass.
Yeah, and he sings, "I'm a, I'm a, is back."
That was 3 bleeps, right? I got it.
I love that song.
Oh my goodness.
It's almost good as "Baby."
Tiffany hates that song. She hates that song.
We got.
It's all downhill from here.
Wow.
I don't know. You'll find me in a bar. At not a real bar, a private club.
20 feet that way.
20 feet that way. Where I'll stage a nutty and have a good time.
We do that. We absolutely do that.
Yeehaw. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's
That
a
was
quick
good.
hour.
That was good.
And we're going to do another one in a few minutes, you know. And do we want to do it as a separate show, or do we want to kind of like pick this up and just keep running with it? Either way, it's going to be a second show.
We'll figure it out.
Which way? Yeah, okay, we'll take a break and we'll figure it out one way or the other. So, thanks for tuning in.
Good stuff.
Yeah, sorry that I needed to get that
Don't
off my
apologize.
chest.
That's a good rant.
You know,
I like that.
And like I said, some may agree with it, some may not. That's okay. That's what makes this America. Oh, wow. I mean, you mean in America, you don't all have to think the same thing? You're right. You don't. And that's why we're trying to keep it that way. All right? So, anyway, but that's another rant, too. So, good show.
Good stuff.
Quick show. I
Yeah,
can't believe
good
how
stuff.
fast that was.
That's good.
So for my partner, Doc, for my wife, Petey, for Miss Kitty, for Rocket, and for Cake, Squirrel.
She's not cute.
Wow, dude. Look, you're sitting across from Kitty who can kick you in the nuts.
I know.
You're sitting right next to
surrounded.
Rocket who can put her elbow right into your
And
face.
they did a session of man bashing.
You got
too.
balls, dude. That's all I got to say is you got balls.
Thank you,
Good thing
sir.
they're not nuts.
Anyway. Want to say thanks for joining us for another episode of the PSNORKIS. I'd say we'd be right back, but honestly, you'll get that second half next week because that's kind of just how we do it. So, but thanks for tuning in. You like this one, you're going to love the next one because Rebel just walked in too, so we're going to have her as
Be
well.
afraid.
It's going to be musical microphones.
Yeah,
It's
be
going
afraid.
to be awesome. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. And as usual, as I always say, I really do mean this. Until then, try to be good to each other. I know it's hard, but just give it a shot. You'd be surprised what you're capable of.